Hey dumplings, it's Dave Desai. Welcome back to my channel. So today there's a few interesting things I would like to discuss. I found a clip of Jungkook crying in the kitchen in one of his TV shows. He was apparently in the kitchen and then something triggered him and then he started crying, and I definitely wanted to talk about that. We also have BigHit, who allegedly took legal action with the Korean Supreme Court. They were fighting over publicity rights, and I'll talk about that, and I'll talk about what that means for us, what that means for BTS, and what that means for future K-pop idols. I thought this would definitely be something interesting to talk about because if true, this could definitely change the way K-pop is right now and how K-pop is for you guys as well. But we will jump into it and get into it. If you are new here and you're interested in this type of stuff, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and that notification bell to be notified anytime a new video drops. If you use a hater, like to be the first to leave your hate comment, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and that notification bell also so you can be the first to do so. Now, let's jump into it. So as always, your boy here is ready to prep you for the tea. The prep work before the tea. By the way, a lot of people say I talk too much in these, which is the point. The channel is a vlog. That's literally what these videos are about, me talking. It's about fangirling, giving commentary, that sort of thing. If you're solely here for the news, there's plenty of other news sites that actually talk about this stuff before I first say it. And a lot of them get to the tea before I do. I only talk about the tea once the tea is already out, and then I give my opinions on said tea. And when it's with rumors, I usually debunk those rumors. I only talk about the things that everyone is already talking about and just give my opinions on those. I've never created my own tea. I've only ever talked about tea that was sent to me or stuff that was already going around. Contrary to what a lot of people believe, the stuff that I talk about is already covered. Just because you can't find it doesn't mean that it wasn't covered. And a lot of times I will put the screenshot on the screen so you can see where I'm getting this information from. But of course, these people don't watch the video. Kind of just more here as like a friend that you want to give your thoughts on and talk about the stuff that is going on. I very much expect that some people are coming here already knowing the tea and just want to hear an opinion on it. But if this is the first time you're hearing the tea, then that is great. I do also encourage you to do a little bit more research outside of this video. But anyway, if you don't know what BTS's TV show is and what happened on BTS's TV show, we're going to talk about that. The show is called Bon Voyage, or as they say in the Bon Voyage episodes, BTS likes to scream Bon Voyage. They even have a little bit of a song. We're not going to go sing that song right now because not a singer. They post this on VLive, and I believe it's mostly free to watch. I've personally never paid to watch it, so I don't know if there's a paid version of this. But like, I'm wondering if the free version was free because it was re-uploaded by an army for us broke armies to watch, or if it was actually free and it was put out free by BigHit. Bon Voyage, if it were to be a YouTube series, would be kind of like a travel channel or like a travel vlogger. It's like when they record themselves traveling, you get to see how they're like when they're going through the airport, when they're doing normal activities, the houses that they're in, the hotels. They're doing funny things and you really get to know them a lot better. They go to these beautiful places like New Zealand and just like moments where you really get to see their personality shine even more than they do on stage. Sometimes you see them on stage and you don't really know how they are in real life, but then you watch these Bon Voyage episodes and then you're like, I know what you're like. It's very cute and adorable, and I adore our boys. They're in situations that you would normally be in, because when I'm watching and I see that they get travel stress from traveling, I can relate to that because I've had that too. This episode that I'm talking about particularly today was Jungkook in the kitchen, and it was during a New Zealand episode, I believe. Jungkook was standing there cutting onions because our baby is so humble and he cuts his own onions. He doesn't have to though. He can literally hire someone like me and he'll never have to touch an onion ever again. If Cookie wants an onion, I will cut an onion 40 different ways for him. But it was Jungkook and J-Hope in the kitchen together cutting onions when Jungkook started tearing up from cutting onions. If you cut onions, you know the struggle. One thing that does work, if you go ahead and cut the ends kind of off, it's easier to cut the onions without tearing up. At least it works for me. But Jungkook started tearing up a lot when cutting onions and started rubbing his eyes. J-Hope of course told Jungkook to not touch his eyes because if you just touch onion juice then in eyeballs, it's going to literally burn your eyes more. This was literally so hard to watch my baby rub onion juice in his eyeball. I literally screamed at the screen like, come on Jungkook baby. You never want to experience this, and if you've never experienced this, don't go experience this. A lot of people were talking about his moaning, like when he touched his eyes he started moaning. Like girl, he's in pain. What do you want him to do, sing? Y'all so thirsty over his moaning, okay? But like same. Jungkook then decides to talk about his mom, and I'm glad that he thinks of his mom in situations like this because this is a situation where you're like, mom, help me cut the onion. He begins to talk about how his mom used to do this so well, and I guess his mom was an avid onion user, and that his mom never cut onions and then cried. She probably did it really quickly, that was why. And a lot of Korean dishes have onions in it, so she's probably used to just chop onions in basket. But my onion offer still stands. If you need an onion boy, I will take payment in forms of staring at me and just being around Jungkook. But when he did proceed to rub his eyes, he did mention how he misses his mom, probably for this reason, and that is so saddening to hear. Our baby does not deserve to miss the mom at all. I don't know how often they actually do go home, but if Jungkook needs more time with his mom, he should get more time with his mom. It's very tough, especially at that level of fame, to not be able to go home to your parents or see your childhood friends. He probably started missing his mom's like home-cooked meals and overall stuff like that she does for him. This episode did seem like it was recorded before the quarantine, so it wasn't the fact that it was quarantine that's why they couldn't go home. I believe at this time he was legally able to go back home, but then of course with touring and all that stuff, he got really busy. And you know, being busy and not being able to see your family, it's kind of sad. I get it. I definitely wanted to hear what some armies wanted to say about this and what their thoughts are, because you know my thoughts. It's saddening. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to see a baby miss the mom so much. But when you go on Twitter, one Twitter army wrote this: when Jungkook cutting onions and kept saying he really misses his mom. No, I'm so emo, my heart, sad face. It can be the weirdest things that kind of trigger you missing a person. So I totally get it. Onions remind you of your mom. Treat your mom with love and affection, especially on today, the Mothers of Days. One day you're going to be a superstar like Jungkook and moms aren't going to be there to cut up your onions for you. And then you will miss her. Mark my words. Lesson learned, Cookie. This other Twitter user wrote this: Jungkook says he misses his mom and admiring the fact how she can cut onions without crying. Nah, now I'm the one who's crying. This got me a little emotional too when I saw it. It's definitely not healthy to constantly be touring and working and not spend any time with your mom, but that is the price you pay for success. But hopefully Cookie spent enough time on his break at the end of last year. Also, Jungkook, listen to J-Hope. Don't rub your eyes with onion juice. Onion juice is delicious in food, not so much in your eyeballs. Take a shot every time I say onion in this video if you wish to be dead, but good drinking game if you wish to die. Jungkook crying and getting emotional is actually very common. We'll never know what truly gets him more emotional and upset. Is it his mom or is it onions? But Jungkook does cry a lot, which is a good thing. I love a man who is in touch with his emotional side. If we ever get married, we can have panic attacks together. It'll be great. It'll be awesome. Now we also have over here that Big Hit allegedly took legal action with the Korean Supreme Court. Now I read a few news sites that were covering this and I thought this was very interesting to talk about and something you might find interesting as well. I was shocked at what this could mean. So apparently the Korean Supreme Court ruled in favor of Big Hit owning the publicity rights for BTS and possibly their other K-pop trainees or idols. So when I saw this, I was like, okay, I thought they had the rights to this already, but apparently not. This means that Big Hit will have the rights to BTS's publicity and branding. Faces, names, everything. This means that other companies won't have the rights to use BTS's face, logo, and everything without Big Hit's permission. For example, if this company sells t-shirts, buttons, book bags with BTS's face on them, and this is not official BTS merch, they're basically not allowed to sell those items anymore because it's considered almost like counterfeit merch. So if I decide to make a pencil case and print Jungkook's face on it and sell it, that is considered illegal. A lot of businesses would probably lose their money, as I've seen a lot of businesses sell merch that isn't on the official BTS site, but maybe Big Hit did approve it, I don't know. But this is definitely a good thing because then the rights go directly to BTS and Big Hit, meaning they actually end up owning their face and names, just like we as regular people own our face and names. They can now own their face and name, and only they're allowed to sell the items with their faces on them. I actually didn't know this was a problem with Big Hit and maybe something that they were dealing with for quite some time. But of course, if Big Hit decides to approve third-party people from selling specific merch, only those specific companies are allowed to do it, and that is legal. That is good because I believe this was illegal already in America. Like, I didn't think those laws had to be made. I thought it was like a given, like don't murder somebody. Although that is a law, but you know what I mean. Like, it was so obvious that you can't sell something that's not yours and is fake. But don't quote me on that. Maybe it's actually legal in US, I don't know. So this is good news for K-pop idols in general. This of course means they own more of their face and all that stuff, and definitely more than they used to. And I'm sure you guys know fake merch is a big problem. It's almost like fake designer items. So a lot of people have been praising Big Hit for this because obviously if I buy a Jungkook shirt, in my heart, I'm hoping that Big Hit and BTS get a cut of the money that I'm spending. When I buy the merch, I am hoping that it goes towards their next album, it goes towards supporting BTS. So if I'm going to a local bookstore in Korea and I buy a t-shirt that has Jungkook's face on it, I'm going to be sad that it's going to some greedy person rather than going to support the boys, which would be the reason why I bought the shirt. Although this does mean if you're a broke army, it's going to be harder to buy the merch of BTS because fake merch is obviously cheaper than real merch. But that's just how that goes. Let me know what you think about that. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'd love to hear your whole opinion on this and what you think. Drop it down in the comment section down below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and feature in this comment right here. Thank you so much for leaving comments. And as always, I do have a Patreon if you would like to kind of go over there and contribute back to this channel. It really does help me kind of make videos better on here and keep me going and really take my time to make sure that my videos are good. So I really do appreciate anything you can kind of contribute over there. It means the world to me. You can also get exclusive content over there, such as music video reactions, ship reactions, performance reactions, all that stuff on my Patreon. I'll leave a link in the top of the description down below so you can check it out. There's also 2 videos that will pop up on the end of the screen on this video. So please make sure you click on one of those and I will see you over there. Bye.